Hello, it's Olivia Hadari, and I'm giving my presentation of my final assignment, and my topic was college gymnastics. And I chose this because I've done this sport my whole life, and I think that there's a lot of other important elements that get added to it at the collegiate level that you don't experience at high school. And I wanted to express the emotion, the challenge, and the triumph that all comes with being a student athlete, as well as highlighting some of the equipment and skills that most people don't see on a regular basis just because it's unique and new. And I'm highlighting the aspects of the Fitterman Training Center just because it's new and it's on campus and that we've been able to train in over the past few months. So my first image here is over some grips, and that's some very important equipment that we use to swing bars. In a way, I use leading lines to focus on the item with the bar setting in the background. Your eyes kind of move up toward the image, and it's purposeful because it shows what these grips are used for. Like, we use them only on uneven bars, so I think it's a cool setup, and it's symmetrical without any distractions around. My second picture showcases two of my teammates. One of them is cheering for the other as she salutes, and Rachel is saluting, Liz is cheering her on. And I like the equipment in the background, showing that she just finished a beam routine, but it's not too busy to distract from the shot either. The girls are in focus and their expressions are clear. And the biggest part of this shows that this is not an individual sport anymore. The support that our team gives for each other creates a successful atmosphere with genuine joy and happiness from others, creates that successful team. And that's something that you don't get while doing it in high school because it's a very individualized sport, but it becomes very team-centered afterward on the collegiate level. My next image showcases Kendall doing a handstand. This is a skill that we do on bars, and I captured the picture in the center of the frame, and it shows symmetry and shape. I like how the bar lines up with her skill, creates a nice line. Her shape is superb, and this highlights the important details of this skill that are captured with a high shutter speed in this case. Little movements like this are completed in fast moving routines, and it shows that this quality needs to be maintained even though so many things are happening at once. You have to keep your legs together, pointed toes, tight shape. It's all important. And I added the vignette around to emphasize the central focus of the image and to enhance the drama with it. My next picture is a black and white picture of a men's gymnast doing the rings, and I think putting it in black and white emphasizes the emotion and the struggle here, and it also draws attention to the little details such as muscle tone, emphasizing the difficulty of this move. And this expression is tense, and it shows a lot of effort, which can cause or create some appreciation by the viewer. And it showcases that this sport takes perseverance and effort and strength needed to keep going through the hard times, especially during tough routines. And just like in life, there's times during the sport when it gets hard, but we have to push through even if it's mentally and physically taxing. So while I was editing, I also enhanced clarity and shadows to help bring out the muscle tone, again, to showcase strength because it's very difficult. My next picture showcases the precision aspect of gymnastics. It's Evelyn Resnick, and the angle that I shot of the beam shows really how small and narrow of a space it is, so there's such little room for error. But the endearing gymnast doesn't let fear get in her way, and she takes it on, even if it may seem scary to flip on such a small piece of equipment. I used the high shutter speed to capture her movement clearly, and you can see her eyes are looking at the beam, so she's experienced and she knows where she is in the air. And this kind of can show the viewer that it takes guts to get up there and perform these movements while showing a realistic view of how precise we truly must be to stay on, which hopefully people can have an appreciation for how accurate really you have to be, and you don't see how small it is until you're really up close next to it. My next picture is a celebration of Rachel. She shows her joy and triumph after completing a skill. So I think this is a more of a themed image because it shows that after you push through tough times and overcome struggles, the excitement that we have when we complete our routines makes us understand what the struggle and pushing through is all about. I got a close-up picture of her face and her emotion because I really wanted to capture everything she was feeling when that moment, exactly when everything went right. Truly, being a student athlete is demanding, so we feel proud when we overcome struggle, and that allows us to appreciate the success that we do get. I reduced the highlights to prevent the white background from being dominant, um, but the brightness in the photo does create a happy tone, and you can feel a sense of inspiration and be uplifted from this photo, which I like. My last picture shows Ethan. He is being a student athlete at the end of practice. And I think this is a calmer scene with a focus on schoolwork because that's important because as a student athlete, we have to balance our athletics with education, of course. And I think this is a more grounded scene. He's doing homework on the floor while a lot of the other pictures were showing movement and action in the air and making the scene seem more relaxed, more focused. And even while we're at practice, education is why we're here at Simpson, and I think that's critical to our overall success as a person, not just as an athlete. And it reminds us that we are well rounded individuals, and being a college gymnast includes taking time for our athletics. I reduced highlights to make sure the background wasn't dominating, and I reduced the temperature to a cooler tone to create a calming effect. I want it to be a more relaxing, more focused scene to show that he's locked in, trying to work on his homework. And again, with his expressions, it shows focus. And that kind of eliminates distractions and pulls the viewer's focus into the central subject of the image. Overall, I really liked this project, and getting my teammates involved was fun and enjoyable, and I think they loved it too. I liked being able to highlight the equipment and the facility that a lot of people don't get to see on a daily basis. And I also loved reflecting on my sport, what I do it for, and why I really love it so much, despite the challenging times that come with it. And if I were to change anything about this project, I'd probably make Kendall's handstand picture a little bit more brighter. The vignette kind of makes it a little bit darker. Making it brighter could emphasize more shadows and contrast. It's a little dull, so I would change that. And if I took a different kind of picture, I'd probably take a picture of the athletic training room during recovery because that is another huge and important piece of the sport that many of us don't get to experience in high school, and that resource is given to us at Simpson. And it's crucial for us to get back on our feet when we're struggling, when we're sore, when we're injured. So that's another big part of college gymnastics. And I had fun. This was a great class. And thank you guys for listening.